Remember when I started doing videos with identity portraits on the secretary screen? Yeah, I remember that time, but then they decided that seasonal identities need to have a time lock on them. I'm still not over that. Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Mechamac. This is the Surrendered Witness. Surrendering Witness? Surrendered Witnessing? I can't entirely remember. In the last episode, someone set a horde of flesh-eating jar zombies on everyone at the hierarchy evaluation. Now we have the thumbs entry into this nonsense. It looks like we're still fighting these zombies. I don't mind being a tad underleveled. As long as Rodion doesn't push over level 50 or level 48 until we're ready. Because I need her for my blunt excavations. We might as well put you in as well. And hey, I think the enemies are actually high enough level that we're getting SP on kill, which is nice. Oh, you horrible, horrible thing. And I used up Durante last episode, so we're a little tapped out now. If it flips all heads, we're done, but honestly, we're probably not going to do much good here. This is just to try. Is a better option than his skill 1 is the important point. No envy weakness, so we're safe there. Latching on is very hard to beat on turn 1 without any ego. Punch, 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 punch. Yeah, he just needs to win 2 flips and it beats our 2 flips. I think they really want us to be using Heisho Pack identities here, is the problem. Wait, why are you on a horse? You're not supposed to be on the horse? If this unit has Dullahan and 15 plus SP... Oh, gain a Dullahan. Okay. That's weird. Oh, we have to hit negative 25 before he loses his Dullahan. Okay. Honestly, his SP is so low that he might actually get the kill with Lament, Mourn and Despair for once. We have the big one vulnerable, we might as well try and go all in even though we're throwing away 2 skill 3s to do it. Oh, 60 SP back!
물결아, 정리하겠습니다. 열어젖힌다.
어서도록 할까?
6 coffins. Heathcliff is going to need a lot more envy, but he will be able to start reviving people. For only 1 turn, yes, but it will be a revive. Wait! A monster from Gorged and Devoured Jar of Loneliness. Nailed Jar monster. Now there's 2 of them! And there's only 1 wave for some reason, so I guess they expect us to really struggle here. Envy? Envy strikes? Start purging those status effects? Oh, good gravy. Heal 2 allies with gloom resonances. Close enough. Oh, that's an envy weakness though. Good luck, Ishmael. Wait, is that also a wrath weakness? No, it's just envy.
이딴과 말. 끝이라도 되려는 자가 없다. 불청기는 찌그러져 있도. 열어젖힌다.
Bad time to flip heads. Oh, because he got the coffin kill, now he's got the AoE.
주인께서 명하셨습니다. 당신 청소하라.
Make them stop coming, I want them gone. Please. I don't want to deal with these guys anymore. Okay, you're going to hit us on, If he hits heads, then he self-destructs. We'd be relying on both heads there. And we'd be giving her a weakness. I think I'll go for an evade and have someone else get the cleanup, which isn't going to work well there either. Good enough.
먼지를 떨어내줘.
무차 잠들어.
무시하니까
무슨 짓을 해?
Oh, whatever.
떨어내줘.
Doesn't matter.
맞는 거야.
What remained inside the hall after the battle was devastating. Many in the audience seats had fled, as the seats that were once brimming with people were only half filled. And the candidate zone down here was littered only with the bodies of candidates who were mauled to death. Meanwhile, the jar monsters, having eaten their fill, had already crawled back into the jar. I looked around and saw some candidates still holding tightly onto the treasures they each had brought to the contest, even as they drew their last breaths. In the midst of all this destruction stood the cause of this chaos, watching the slaughter play out like with assured confidence.
이렇게 우둔하고 나약해서야 어찌 불로를 얻고 불사를 마를 수 있겠느냐? 어떻습니까? 불로 불사의 단서에 더해 거짓을 구한 자들을 없애는 보배까지 가져왔으니 이것이 저의 답입니다.
그 항아리에 진흙을 구해왔구나.
살아남지 못한 이들은 가주의 자격을 갖추지 못했다 보는 것이 옳겠죠.
Because of course not.
설가반 합격.
Oh well, it means we get a chance to kill him ourselves later.
자칫하다가 다 죽어버릴 수 있었는데 합격이라니.
Well, it wasn't anyone important, you have to remember that. That's the judging criteria.
저들의 기준에는 부합되었던 것일 테죠.
겸사겸사 나약한 경쟁자들도 일찌감치 제거해버리고 저자에겐 일석이조였겠군.
혹시라도 2차전에서 만나게 되면 몇 대 후려 갈기는 걸로는 안 끝낼 거다.
28번째 참가자 사씨 가문의 대적.
But no one walked up to the platform.
모습을 드러내지 않았기에 탈락.
Jia Zheng called a few more names thereafter, but
29번째 30번째.
언뜻 보기에도 인원이 줄었군.
none appeared.
어떠들 같으니
확실히 어중이 떠중이들은 전부 죽은 것 같아요.
남은 것들도 죄 지쳐 헐떡이는 것들뿐.
Ryoshu looked around as though she was doing some sort of critique.
저 덩치는
This sounds new. Yep, that's definitely the thumb.
이런 개새.
이야, 어디다가 흘렸는가 했더만 이런 데서 늦자고 없이 나타났지? 야, 눈 마주쳤잖아. 인사라도 오자.
Ryoshu, that guy's talking to you, right? And in a very, very rare display of raw emotion, I realized that she was anxious and furious.
알던 분이세요?
뭔 떡뜨거. 키가 2m는 되겠는데?
저자를 바라보지 마세요, 단테. 그리고 여러분들도 아무 말씀도 하지 마시기를 권고합니다.
그러지. 나한테 말 걸라면 너희들이 급이 되는지는 한번 생각해보고 씹으려야 할 것 아니냐.
저 새끼 손가락이다.
뇌횡.
엄지는 손가락 중 상명하복의 제일 엄격한 조직입니다. 그리고 저자는 엄지의 카포 중에서도 제일 높은 언더보스 직전의 직급. 자그마한 실수가 큰 싸움으로 번질 수 있으니 전부 조용히 해주실 것을 명령해주세요, 단테.
I don't know what's going on, but I get it. You're saying we're this close to having another Ricardo hunting us down, right? Yeah, let's avoid that. Do as Forced asks, everyone. Lei Heng began stomping his way through the crowd towards us, casually but forcefully shoving anyone in his way to the sides. His gait was blaze and brutish, but I noticed his eyes were fixed intently on Ryoshu. I don't know whether we can control Ryoshu, so let's hope that he considers her an equal. It seemed that among the crowd were some people in higher positions as well, but even they averted their eyes or voluntarily got out of his way. He marched confidently through the frozen crowd, as though he were familiar with this kind of reception, until a cry rang out from the crowd.
에바, 너 지금 어느 안전이라고 남궁현아 도련님의 자리까지 와서 시야를 막는 거냐? 이 자리는 장차 4대 가문이 될 우리 남궁.
Instead of a reply, we heard a blast of gunpowder, then saw the right arm of the man who spoke out catapult into the air. Just a reminder of how strongly the thumb feels about hierarchy. The scream muffled as Lei Heng forcibly shoved his giant hand down the man's throat. Then with the sound of wet meat being pulled apart, he ripped the entire length of the man's tongue out through the mouth.
남궁현아 도련님, 아그들 입단속 못했으니까 오른팔 하나는 내놔야지.
The young master of some prestigious house presented his right hand, though it was clear he was utterly terrified. Lei Heng proceeded to grab his hand and break it off his forearm like snapping a twig.
반가운 낯짝 봐서 기준 좀 널널하게 잡아준 것인께 허튼 짓 말고 조심해라. 거미적은 그립겠어. 하긴 그리울 리가 있겠어. 나도 갈 때마다 기분이 거시기하더만.
Well, people were wondering, why did Ryoshu resonate with the Red Eyes so strongly? And while a lot of it does go down to what the hell happened to her kid, but apparently it's also because that's just where she lives. Although the fact that he considers her a friendly face is probably a good sign.
나중에 얼굴 좀 보자. 그때처럼 한 번 더 칼 쥐는 법 좀 제대로 가르쳐줄란께. 아야, 그래도 그중엔 내가 제일 만나게 쓰는 법을 가르쳐줬잖아.
류슈 씨, 아직 때가 아닙니다.
Forced whispered to Ryoshu in a low voice without raising her head.
닥쳐봐.
입사 전의 약속을 아직 기억하시리라. 파우스트는 믿습니다.
어깨에 힘 좀 빼라. 이 데리러 온 것도 아니고 그때처럼 뭘 가르쳐주려고 온 것도 아닌게. 이 새끼 아직 그 집에 있잖아.
What? Yeah. Okay, foreshadowing for next canto. But also the way that when his mouth opens, does he have a telekinetic? It's just levitating there. Ryoshu was grabbing the hilt of her sword like she was about to unsheath it. The same sword she refused to unsheath for the duration of her entire journey.
아닌가? 이제 어떤가? 글쎄 뭔 일이 있었디야? 나가 그 사정은 잘 몰라서 말이지. 뭐 그래도 뭔 일이 있긴 했는갑네.
The thumbs, capo, I. That's not how Roman numerals work.
이야, 겁나 재미지다. 근데 니 진짜 그건 뺄라고?
류슈 씨,
In a quiet but coldly stern voice, Force calls Ryoshu's name. Ryoshu.
아따 웃자스까히. 언더보스시면 안 받을라 그래도 안 받을 수가 없겠네. 다음에 네가 애비들 얘기나 거시기 해보자고. 요시다.
Yoshihide. The strange man turns around and stomps his way through the crowd again, his booming voice reverberating across the entire hall as he loudly and boisterously answers the call. He's got to be here for the family hierarchy, all right?
누가 가주가 되느냐에 따라 당분간의 H사 방향이 결정되니 다양한 자들의 이권이 보이지 않는 곳에서부터 눈앞에까지 펼쳐질 테죠.
그래도 히스클리프 씨 이번에는 잘 참아줬네요. 중지 때처럼 사고 치면 어쩔까 걱정했는데.
엄지는 나도 조직 생활 때 몇 번 얽혀봐서 알아. 그리고 중지 거는 나도 진짜 몰랐던 거고. 그리고 저 자식 아마
우리가 마주쳤던 리카르도보다도 강하고 위협적인 강자로 판단된다. 엄지는 엄지대로 어마무시하구려. 중지와는 다른 흉악한 폭력성.
As we were all sharing our impressions of Lei Heng, I found Ryoshu frozen in place, in the same position she had been when Lei Heng walked past her, spacing out.
소집까지인가?
Ryoshu muttered something to herself. Oh, typo! As even further chaos was about to overtake the crowd and candidates.
32번째 참가자 가치우.
I see that slight concern in his face. He's probably going, is it okay to keep going without the thumb? That's not an offense, right? Jia Zhang called upon the next candidate. And at the mere mention of the name, the chaos that had swallowed the hall immediately settled into hushed silence. Ah, hey, it's the boss. Wait. I know that outfit. It wasn't one of the main receptions in Library of Ruina. It was one of the discard decks, but darn it, I think I actually read about this on Discord when I wasn't thinking and just scrolling. I don't know whether it's an association or a wing, but I know it wasn't a syndicate. It might have been a fixer office, I'm not certain. Jia Q walked up to the platform, unaccompanied by his own faction, but not alone. Who are those people next to Jia Q?
저는 초면이네요. 아, 그렇다면 저분이 가치우 형님이 찾은 블로불사의 답인가 보네요.
The library, perhaps?
대체 어떤 사람들이길래?
전투적으로 그렇게 뛰어난 자들 같지는 않아 보이건만.
오히려 보라는 듯이 연신 두리번거리시네요.
저자는 도서관의 생존자라고 파우스트는 생각합니다.
That's right, the library actually could bring back both the guests and the librarians and the guests from the dead.
피할 수 없었던 어떠한 불가항력에서 유일하게 살아남아 그것을 설명할 수 있게 된 자일 수도요.
I guess he could have also grabbed the Mola office.
1차 심사 참가자.
Jia Q didn't spend much time behind the curtains. He walked out soon after, his steely expression unchanged from when he entered it.
증언을 들어보니 확실하구나. 도시의 별을 넘어 결국 사라져버린 그곳에서 살아나온 이가 맞다.
It didn't vanish, it got evicted. The head decided that it had gone too high and needed... Well, actually, there were a lot of things that the library did wrong, but the important point was that Angela chose selfless... I should not say that because that's spoilers, but the head is what made it vanish. Well, whatever.
당시 초대장을 구하지 못한 것이 이제 와서 아쉬운 일로 남게 되었군요.
합격.
GRQ's expression did not budge.
긴장이라는 걸 하긴 했을까?
그럼 남은 참가자는 더 이상 없나? 이 자리에 와주신 4대 가문 모두에게
잠깐만요.
Unlike GRQ, whose appearance plunged the hall into utter stillness, Honglu's sudden interjection roused the room to a roaring chaos of confusion once again.
오? 아직 마지막 참가자가 남은 것 같아서요.
그게 무슨 말이냐? 심사에 나서는 자들의 내역은 이것으로.
제가 남았거든요. 다시 가문의 보호기 가주 심사에 참가합니다.
Ooh, people are going to be angry about that. And upset, and scared, and really just all sorts of emotions.
정말 한 톨도 남지 않았나? 그렇다면 어째서 이 분노가 끝나지 않는 거지?
Okay, so I guess... Ooh. Actually, it does look like we've come to the end of the road, but... They like to hide how far ahead you can go, is the problem. I'll make the assumption that we can... Okay, I'll tell you what. If it turns out that this is the last portion of story, we'll look at the new identities, okay? Okay, until next time guys, take care, I'll see you all around.